Hey guys, this is Tiffany. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Have you been undergoing changes, major changes? Have you all of a sudden an understanding of everything and that all is one and that everything is related to everything? Are you questioning everything at this point? Are you aware of the fact, or at least are considering the fact, that maybe every single thing that you've ever been taught is not just not true, but quite literally the opposite, upside down, backwards, and also in inverted version of the actual truth? If you're feeling any of those things on top of lots of other symptoms such as depression, anger, headaches, loss of appetite, losing 30 pounds in a month, dying, morphing into a butterfly from a caterpillar, and monarch all of a sudden just stuck out to you, you are probably going through your spiritual awakening. Now, in the early phases of your spiritual awakening, you are going to act and feel and think crazy. Part of it is because you are activating a part of your brain that, is going to, it's just different. You've unleashed the prison in your brain. I compare this prison to a bird cage. So just much like, ironically, the movie, because I always tell you all the time, the truth is always hidden in plain sight. So let's just pretend that you live in a prison of your own mind. Now, any starseed and or any indigo will always fight any kind of institution or being forced to do something that they don't want to do. At some point, you're going to run into any one of the things that I talk about, such as the matrix that we lived in, the other dimensions, time travel, astral project, astral travel in broad daylight. Like, you don't even have to go outside. You don't even have to be asleep. You don't have to be anything. You are, in the beginning, going to feel like you have lost your mind. You're going to have every single symptom of depression. Now, this is not to be mistaken for or confused as or with any kind of psychological evaluation. Just because I said that the symptoms are very much in tune with the same symptoms of depression, and I've already told you that you're going to be basically in bed sick with literally everything under the sun for close to a year, well, then you're at the beginning of your spiritual awakening. You could probably feel the bed vibrating at this point. I think that you know that everything has a higher purpose. You have a higher purpose. I mean, maybe you have a clear and full understanding of everything. And after you undergo all these like horrific pieces that no one tells you about, that I tell you about in every single video, after that happens and you actually are able to break through the barrier of your spiritual awakening and come out on this other side of it, you're going to realize that you're a starseed if you're waking up here in 2019. Or have already woken up by 2019. We are the third wave. So you're going to be able to, you're going to have all these enhanced abilities and senses, and you're going to become extremely creative. You're going to begin to question everything. You're going to start researching everything, just so long as it's not forced on you by any kind of institution, and your mind is just like any other kind of prison or educational institution. So if you want to set your mind free, you need to have a spiritual awakening. In order to have a spiritual awakening, you need to set your mind free. In order to set your mind free, you have to let go of everything that you think you know, and at least consider the fact that what I'm saying could at least potentially be true. And I mean, honestly, I'm not one of these people that says, well, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, a lot could happen. You could actually be suffering from real serious, concerning health problems, such as, I'm not even going to say it because I don't like to vibrate on that lower frequency level, but it doesn't matter. Just every time you're going through this, just because you're having some of these symptoms or even all these symptoms does not mean that you're having a spiritual awakening in every single case. On the other side of that, literally half of everyone on planet Earth right now is about to, has already gone through, or is actually going through that metamorphosis, that the shedding of this shell, realizing that we are and have a higher purpose. So you may be wondering, what are we? Who are we? You've heard me say multiple times that I am an indigo and I am also a starseed. So a starseed always has all three traits: the indigo child traits, the rainbow child traits, and also the crystal child traits. An indigo is one who cannot stand authority, and people would tell you all day long that our favorite word is why, because we have to know everything about everything about everything. The reason that we have to know everything about everything is because we know that everything that we were ever taught and forced to somehow ingest information that we knew was wrong. I don't know, maybe we're trying to prove it wrong. Maybe we just like learning. I love learning. Honestly, I just do. I will pretty much YouTube any random topic and learn everything I can about it. That's just me. And that's going to be you if you are undergoing or going through or have already had your first wave of spiritual awakening. We're now on the third wave since the 1940s. We'll get into that some other time. Your senses. Everybody seems to believe that we humans have 5 senses. That's not true. You have a lot more than 5 senses. And when they become heightened the way that they're going to, as you are on your journey and through your process of your own spiritual awakening, you're going to realize that you can float, you need to meditate more often, you can feel vibration, you can feel energy, you can see air, your ears are ringing, this migraine that won't go away. You have to find balance. For me, balance is get that phone away from me and out of my room, and don't even think about turning on a TV around me. I don't like noise. I really don't. I haven't even left my house in a long time. And the ironic part, and whether you believe me or not, is irrelevant at this point. But I assure you, in the last 3 months of my life, people literally show up at my house all the time, which is also a business. So that's not, out of the ordinary during regular business hours. But people show up and say that literally Jesus sent them here to give me this message. All of a sudden, you begin to start speaking differently. And so when you are instructed by your core or your higher being, whatever you want to call that, your star system, your whatever it is that is instructing you to let go of negativity and negative people, even if they're not really negative, if they are not helping you to awaken, then they are hindering you from awakening. Let them go. Don't fight it. I know you're stubborn like me. I know you want to fight it. Just let go this one time. Hey, worst case scenario. All right, cool. So then you don't think you had a spiritual awakening and you can bring all those negative people that are toxic for you back into your life. Your choice. Kudos. Honestly, it's cool. I don't judge anybody. All right, so back to the what am I? What are you? Where are we? Where do we come from? So starseeds, like I said, have all of those other 3 underlying I guess, words to describe personality types. Doesn't really matter because we don't do labels. But people find labels helpful. So if you want to put labels on things, go ahead. So here's how it went down. We are starseeds, and we have been coming to this Earth over and over and over and over again. Why Earth? Because Earth is the only planet that has free will, and also is the only planet in which we can reside in an actual human body, or a shell as I call it. And we are soul people, specifically starseeds that are the main dominant characteristic of us out of those indigo, crystal, and rainbow is indigo. Us, we are, and this is the worst part about it, is that I can't even explain it to you because there aren't even words. Man invented word. True word equals sound. Every orchestra on the entire world, planet, universe plays to what is known as a God frequency. Again, people argue over it's 434 gigahertz or it's 440. Who cares? Synchronicity is key. Repetition is key. Law of attraction is of the utmost importance. In order to manifest everything you've ever wanted and live the happiest life you've ever had, then you need to understand all of the fundamentals. And then we're going to have a really good time. You know, I'm looking very forward to walking you through how to have fun with them. But right now, if you're awakening, you're feeling all of these things. And it is so similar to the grieving process. Honestly, and it makes a lot of sense that it is very similar to the grieving process, because you have to die and come back a different person. You have to shed all this shell off of you, and then you just kind of like wake up one day and you realize that you speak differently, you sit differently, you no longer like anything that you ever liked before. You don't even tolerate an opportunity for someone to insult you or to get hurt about it or whatever. Here it is. This is what's up. We're starseeds, indigo. We don't like being forced to do things. However, that's a side note, and it's going to stay right there probably for the duration of this video, if that's okay with you guys. So we made an agreement to come to planet Earth again and again and again and again, over and over and over. All right. So in the 1940s, a bomb went off and a war, Nazi Germany, right? Testing twins and cloning and all of those things happened. And these catastrophic events led basically the entire planet to beg and plead, God, please come help us, this has to stop. And even further back than 1942, 1945, I mean, like way back, every single time a catastrophic event happens and everybody is affected by it, much like the one you're about to see really soon. God, I hope you wake up before then. Everybody's praying for someone to come help them. They have hope, they have faith, and the only problem is that they also have fear. And that fear is what keeps you imprisoned in your own mind. And I'm going to go ahead and break that word down a little bit. And you're going to see me do this a little bit in each video until I make an actual video on why I do this. I'm triggering you because you have to remember. Remember, we chose to come here voluntarily, willingly, and to undergo so much pain and assault and sexual assault, and so much so that we even got to choose who our parents that we would be born to or are a product of, or who raised us, because we knew that they would be the thing that was so overly abusive to us that someday it was destined for us to awaken, because enough is enough is enough is enough. And when we say that we're done, I promise you, we're done. And that's the difference between before you awaken and after you awaken. Before you awaken, you can say, I'm done all you want, but your human emotions and your sensitivities are telling you the wrong advice. They're telling you to give this person another chance that you know is toxic for you. So go ahead and let that go for a few minutes. Let that fear go. You have nothing to worry about. You are completely safe and in good hands. Yes, you're going to undergo basically being sick in bed for a year. Yes, it's going to suck. Yes, it's going to hurt. But isn't it worth it if you could have all encompassing? And by have all encompassing, I mean this. As a starseed and as an indigo, we made a deal. All of you people cried and begged for someone to come help stop the plagues and stop the famine and stop the wars and stop the division and stop the building of the walls and stop. Like, why does everybody have to die? Why do we live in a world where school shootings is normal? I mean, why are we forced to pay taxes? Why are we forced to institutions, including but not limited to education, prison or prisms, which is where I was going with that just a second ago. I tear words apart like that for you so that you can understand their true meaning. So a prism and a prison have a lot to do with each other, and the common denominator there is got a lot to do, or has got a lot to do with a holographic effect, which, again, we're all multi-dimensional beings. So that said, we are able to bend time, stop time, use time, agree that there is time, man-made time, man-made word is sound. So while I know I just probably confused you a little bit, I do this to you on purpose, and I hope that you fully have faith and trust in me, that I'm not doing it to hurt you or be, any sort of anything other than helpful. I came here voluntarily agreeing to undergo all this pain, assault after assault after assault after abuse of every single kind that you could possibly imagine, because it took all that for my brain to shatter. And what happens is right here, top of the spine, base of your head, base of your brain, right here, when you undergo enough trauma, this electric shock gets sent up your spine, and it stops right here, and then it goes into the brain and it shatters it. Then your brain becomes like an actual honeycomb. It's got all these little, spaces everywhere. Now those spaces can be filled with a couple of different things. Celebrities in Hollywood, those spaces are used along with satanic ritual abuse and blah, 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 all that other stuff, Illuminati and all that other stuff. And they are the first ones to admit that they have altars. Beyonce, Sasha Fierce, Jay-Z, whatever. Anyway, all the people who also shave their head, celebrities, like especially Disney Channel kids who, Britney, go crazy, crazy. Crazy happens at age 25 because this vasovagal process was done to them before they were 5 years old. Now, if you try to like, if you try to find legitimate information on that, pretty much everything that you're going to find is a lie too. It's going to tell you that it only happens to little boys. And it only happens to little boys, specifically on Disney shows. You know what? That's not true, first off. Or else, why would we have this Harvey, casting couch thing going on? Anybody can have this done to them at any age. But those of us who were unfortunate enough to have the vasovagal process done to us by age 5, remember, it shattered our brain into a bajillion pieces. So one day, we just started questioning everything. Again, we came here knowing that we were going to undergo so much pain, so much pressure, so much hurt, so much death, so much loss, anger, everything, so that you don't have to. My job on this planet is to share with you what nobody told me, in hopes that I can spare you the pain of having to undergo A, the vasovagal process, B, I could probably spare you 1,000,000 hours in research just by me telling you. And you don't have to believe me, but it would be great if you did. And even if you don't believe me and you just take it for what it's worth, I mean, it's a spiritual awakening, so it's still beautiful. 1 second, please. I'm sorry. Okay. So spiritual awakening must mean that we're spiritual. We are extremely spiritual. And if anybody who's ever had a conversation with me and you've heard me describe the Bible the way that I do, I describe it in a way that's almost similar to the Salem witch trials. Like, this book came out, third party, 13 pages are missing. They are in a sealed, wherever hidden case somewhere in the Roman Catholic Church at the Vatican. For real. Like, seriously. So what do those pages consist of? Why are there 13? Anyway, not the point. What are we? We are. We are love. I love you in a way that no two other human beings feel. We are hope. And we realize hope is not necessary because we are able to manifest. And so are you. It's the law of attraction. Super simple stuff. I'll get into that with you guys. We are all of your fears, all of your tears, all of your cries, all of your begging, all of your pleading, all of your plagues, all of your illness, all of your wars. And just while I'm saying yours, please remember that we have been around time and time and time and time again. So that includes us too. We came here, chose the most abusive parents basically in the whole wide world for our awakening to happen. And then when it did, and we realized it, and realized that this is an everyday ongoing process, well, it changed everything that we know. We, through research, and I mean a lot of research, because I love learning and I don't ever want to stop growing, so why limit yourself, I can say this. The world that we live in is quite literally exactly like the movie The Matrix. I'm sitting here telling you that I can see air. And you don't have to believe me. But are you afraid of that? No. Do you have hope that maybe one day you could see air? No. So that kind of negates the need for a book written by anybody who has claimed to see or encounter this, because this is all of us coming together to help you awaken, because we care about you so immensely, so deeply. Y'all don't even understand. Honestly, pain for you could be, ouch, that hurt. Pain for us, it's like literally the end of the world, without being dramatic. I'm there aren't words, because man made word and true word is sound. So imagine a creepy sound and the way that makes you feel, like a child laughing in a horror flick or whatever. Creepy, right? Every hair on your body stands up, right? Something like that. Except the exact opposite. We are love. We are all. We are knowledge. We are understanding. We do not judge. We are peace. We are here to break apart a horrible system that doesn't work and rebuild a new structure and a new system that does work, so that all those things that I just named will go away and stop happening. Yeah, you need hope for that. Of course we hope that it works. But we wouldn't have come here time and time and time and time again, and keep coming here time and time again, only to force ourselves to go through all of this pain and all of this suffering, only to remember who we are and where we come from. Now, it doesn't work like how you may think it works. We are not coming from a specific star or star system or solar system or a specific planet. We are all of them. We just are. There's lots of species roaming this planet right now. And I say this all the time, the one reason why people fight over Earth, why there's so many bad things going on here at the same time, is because, well, half of you are crying and begging for help, and here we are. We're here to help you awaken. So if you want to awaken and you really care about all these things that hurt us in life, then let go of the fear and jump on in. The other half of you are here to make it worse. And I have nothing further to say about that. It's a shame. But they'll never know how much it hurts us. So if somebody says something to hurt my feelings, as a starseed and as an indigo, I have to look at it like, okay, I can respect the fact that you feel that way. Now, if you go out of your way to do something to hurt my feelings, I am aware that I am having a thought that turns into a feeling, and I'm probably just gonna give it the boot. Now, that takes a lot of practice. On another level, on a soul level, we are soul. We are earth. We are all encompassing of every single thing, including but not limited to emotion. And however something hurts for you, there is no words that can possibly even come close to describing how much it hurts me that it hurts you. Especially even if I don't know you. I am the person who does stuff and does not want any recognition. So there, I'm not going to tell you about anything, because you know what? Whatever. I'm the person who people literally come to my house and say that, Jesus sent them here to give me this message. And I'm like, thank you. Can I hug you? I'm the type of person that walks up to random people who are having a crap day and putting my arms around them with their permission, of course, and asking if I can give them a hug and tell them that I love them. But more than all of that combined, I am the person that means it. I am looking right at you. I promise you, I mean it. I cannot say I love you and not love you. I love you all. I love everyone. The closest thing, man-made word, and I don't even have a sound. I guess you could consider it like, when people die and they say like, or even the Bible says, like this beautiful harp is playing and it's just this mystical, magical, fantastical sound, right? It's the most beautiful sound you've ever heard in your life. I go, that's who and what we are. We are hurt. We love you so much, and we are so tired of you being tired of hurting. We literally agreed to come here and take on your pain so that you don't have to. That is a spiritual awakening. And the crazy part is we keep doing it over and over and over and over again. Not allowed to remember it. You have to awaken in each and every single lifetime. Then you have to realize the fundamentals of it, and then you have to understand that we are all multidimensional beings living in what is supposedly a 3D reality, but reality isn't even real. And I'm not going to get into that too much right now, or I'll go off on a tangent, but just know that we're like, the closest thing I can compare us to is literally like the blue avatar people. They're heart. We are heart. We are soul. We are love. We hurt because we chose to come here not remembering anything about who we are, where we came from, but always having somehow known in the back of our mind, or even mostly in the forefront of our mind, that we had a higher purpose. We were brought here and sent here and came here voluntarily to literally devote our lives to preventing you from feeling any further pain. And in doing so, that means I feel your pain, and then my pain because of your pain. I mean, it's no wonder we get into some of the professions that we get into, because we can relate. We've been through everything any person could possibly go through a bajillion times. And even though it kills us to do it every day, we get up and do it every day. And it's really out of love. So that's what an indigo is. That's what a starseed indigo awakening kind of looks like. And after all the craziness that you go through, maybe a year from the first, video that you watch that I show you, or a piece of information that you digest and start researching, or just wait for my next video and I'll go into every literal single subject available. And at some point you're going to have to just trust me, because history is being deleted off of this platform and other platforms as we speak. So you must come into this knowing that you've got to keep an open mind. There's no harm in keeping an open mind whatsoever. I really care about you. Now, how many people have you ever met in your entire life that will literally look you in your face and tell you the truth? So, all those people in your life, you should give them the boot. Come over here to this side. You can reach out to me. My literal Facebook page is right down there. I'm here for you. And I mean it though. I could not be any more authentic or genuine if I actually were trying, but I'm not. I'm just me. I'm blunt. I'm straight to the point. I don't sugarcoat a thing. This is what's happening. This is why it's happening. That is what we are. We are every single thing. You all on this entire planet, to include ourselves, because we're here in human form yet again, to endure all of the pain, all of your fears, thoughts, hopes, wishes, intuitions, all that stuff, every single thing that you fear, anxiety, all of it. We are all of that. But we comment it with and from love. We love it better. We tear down systems that don't work. We rebuild systems that do work because we don't want to see you guys hurting anymore. When you hurt, I promise you on anything ever, I swear to you, meet an indigo, meet a starseed and or an indigo. Watch what happens. Seriously. And if anybody here wants to like drop a random question that you would like a specific answer to put me to the test or try to debunk what I'm saying, I would love the challenge. Please do. The most important thing I'm here to do is just to help you awaken and to spread love and happiness. So that's why I always keep saying, like, we have, the crystal children in us too, and the rainbows, which are just these jovial, like, awesome, happy, peaceful people. And the crystals are the ones who want to rebuild the structures that the indigos tear down because we can't stand the violence. So I don't know if you've ever like felt what it feels like to truly be love and give that gift to someone, especially a perfect stranger. Those are my favorite times. But I hope that I can teach you how to awaken, because you should want this. It's not selfish. It doesn't take away from anything that you believe in. It does tear apart everything we were taught and forced down our throats via drugs and medications and all this other crazy crap that mess with the wiring in our brain, right on down to including the water right now. But anyway, all right, this video is pretty long. I'm sorry. I know I kept it over 20 minutes on this one, but I have so much to say to you guys, and I could make 1,000 videos, or I could just make these a little bit longer on very important issues. So stay tuned for the next session. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the notification button, all that good stuff. And welcome to your awakening. Thanks, guys.